Where is the other student, please? I can see only two students, so we are waiting for you guys for to join and we can start our class. Can you please inform your students to kindly log in and so we can start class? Thank you. Am I audible? Hello. Kindly, can you try to inform the student to log in, like in the group, can you inform them? Then you can. I want to ask all students who are present here, make sure that you are a student from PG or Masters applicants. And I can see Nzayituriki Julian, Giramahoro Chi, Iradukunda Emmanuel, Jean Damour NI, gutanga igihe urwego konsi willy. So I want everyone to make sure that is a student who applied for master student, like master degree students. They are the one who's supposed to join this class.
Test, test. Am I audible? Am I audible? Thank you.
Yes, it's okay.
we mazanye turyo kurya njyenyine birambirira aho gushakisha ndakuba turaryaho wumve biraryoha.
Those students who are speaking, please kindly mute yourself. We are going to start the class now. Giramahoro, please mute. Good afternoon, each and everybody. We are sorry for it. There was some technical errors. That's why we are going to start late. Welcome in Comera Business and Consulting Services Limited. My name is Mr. Shalom, a CEO for Comera Business and Consulting Services Limited. I welcome you all for this Pragati class for first for the master student. Actually, most of you doesn't know what is Pragati exam, how it will look like. So I'm here to clear each and doubt which is regarding to Pragati examination, and any doubt which is can be referred to the study in India. And I guess you all are comfortable with the English. And if you are not comfortable with the English, you are welcome to ask me in your local language. then we can try to sort out the issue. Basically, Pragati examination will be held in 3 sections, as we have been discussed earlier, but allow me to talk about it a little bit. Pragati examination will be in 3 sections. Section one is verbal listening. This verbal listening will be including the reading comprehensions, fill the brackets, grammar, paragraphy comparisons and inferences, parajumbles, analogies, antonyms, synonyms, one-word substitutions, sentences, collections, idioms, and phrases. This part of verbal reasoning test will be based on English. Is 100% English, grammar, filling brackets, something easy. And the second part will be quantitative aptitude. This quantitative aptitude will be including algebra, averages, equations, linear, quadratic, geometry, highest common factor and lowest common multiple, number systems, partnerships, percentages, progressions, arithmetics, geometry, profit and loss, rations, and proportions as well, time and speed, distance, work and time, and interest. So this quantitative aptitude test will be out of 25 marks, while the verbal will be out of 40 marks. The last part, it is logical part or logical reasoning, which will be including seating arrangement, Brady relation, direction of sense, series, sequencing, syllogism, Venn diagrams, ranking, puzzles, coding and decoding. So it means this logical reasoning is something to which need to make a sense or to put in it logic, and it will be out of 25 marks. Coming to the mode of examination, examination will be conducted online, of course. We will talk about which kind of laptop you should be having, features and everything. Duration of examination, it is 90 minutes. Types of the question, it is multiple choice. All question are multiple choice, and the medium of question paper, it is in English. All question will be in English. So coming to the subject question and the marks, as I said, verbal question or those which is related to the English knowledge, it is out of 40 marks. Then quantitative part, it is out of 25 marks. Then the logical part is out of 25 marks. Then the total marks is 90 marks. Correct answer is 1 marks. Wrong answer, it is 0 marks. Unattempted question, it is 0. So you should attend all questions. Coming to the end of this is the summary of what you're supposed to know about this Pragati examination. Coming to the instruction of the paper, students who appear Pragati examination must take care for the following instruction. First, laptop and desktop hardware, software, and specification. You should be having a laptop with RAM 2 GB or above, microphone, which is breeded inside the laptop, or an external microphone, you can put it. Web camera, which can be having minimum resolution of 640 into 480. Webcam may be internal or can be external as well. Recommended internet is 1 megabyte or more. Dedicated and continuously connectivity, wired or wireless network. Processor should be 2-core or above. Windows should be 10 Pro, Enterprise and Education editions, or Windows 8 out of 8.1, 32-byte and 64-byte or editions, or should be Windows 7, 32-byte and 64-byte or editions. Other software needed is a latest version of column and the net version 4.5 into 2 or above should be pre-installed. Then the examination browser, secure examination browser link shall be provided by Study in India to download this secure examination browser. One minute. I'm so sorry for disturbing. We can continue. Okay, can you hear me now? Guys, can you hear me now?
Yes, we are getting you.
Great. So rightly, we are going to share some first class, right? Because we done the briefing introduction about the Pragati examination. And if someone has doubt regarding to Pragati examination, please do ask me. Anyone has doubt regarding Pragati examination, please do ask me. You can raise your hand, then I can pick you up, then you can ask me. Anyone? Maurice?
No question I have.
Great. So we are going to continue our first lecture. We will be trying to finish 2-3 questions. We are starting from verbal part, and kindly allow me to welcome the professor to talk about this verbal part. Okay, pay attention in class and make it harder as it is. Okay, thank you.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. Today we're going to discuss the English section of TCS Smart All India Mock 1. The aim is basically to give you a strategy of how to answer the section and also to discuss in detail the solutions to each of
Guys, are you able to understand the teacher? Is teacher audible?
The questions that have appeared on the test. Without further ado, let's get started. I am Dr. Nzayituriki. I'm a senior expert in verbal ability at Condiro Online. If you have any questions about any of these questions, you can always post them as comments below the video, and we'll be more than happy to get back to you with answers. All right, let's get into the presentation now. Okay, look, let's look at question 1. This is a grammar question, as you can see, and it's broken down into 4 parts, actually 5 parts. And it says, in this question, a sentence has been divided into several parts. One of these parts has an error. Choose the option that has the part of the sentence with the error. So the aim is to identify that part which has the error. It's very important that you read the instructions for all the questions on verbal ability, because unlike in math or other areas, there is a whole lot of question types we have on verbal ability. So please do not ever answer a question, even if it looks familiar, without reading the instructions. Let's get started. So it says, I need a paper to write down the details that I've managed to get. 4 options, so we have to focus only on the parts the sentence is broken down into. I need a paper to write down the details that I've managed to get. So if you see, I need, I subject to the sentence, need is the verb, we know need agrees with I, so it doesn't seem to have an error in that part. A paper, this is where we need to focus, because paper is a material noun. Just like your gold. So you cannot say I need a gold, right? There are several material nouns that do not basically have singular forms. So when you look at different material nouns, let's say copper, silver, etc. So you do not say I have a silver or I have a gold. With soap as well, but nowadays when you say a soap, it refers to a bar of soap. Some things are understood. When you say a coffee, it means a cup of coffee. That as well is understood. Like that, you cannot say a paper. You can say a sheet of paper, or you can say a piece of paper, so on. So a paper doesn't make sense, but you can say a newspaper. That's fine, because here the reference is to the set of the set of sheets that arrive as one newspaper. However, we do not have a paper because paper is a material noun. You have to use it with a unit of measurement. It can be a sheet of paper, a piece of paper, or a full set, basically, any of these things. So do not ever say a paper. You can say a sheet. I need a sheet to write the details on, right? Back to the presentation. So that part is definitely erroneous. So I need a paper is incorrect. Your answer should be option B. Sorry. Your answer should be option B. To write down the details that I've managed to get. Write down is a decent phrasal verb, the details that I've managed to get. Everything else looks okay, so your answer should be option B. Let's go forward. Let's look at the next question. Last night, the principal of the school took us to his chamber to show us the picture of the student who steals the school bell. So last night is an important indicator, if you see. This as well is a sentence, an error identification question type. So here as well, the sentence is being divided into several parts. You have to identify the part with the error. So the principal of the school took us to his chamber to show us the picture of the student who steals the school bell. See, the entire action was in the past tense. So when you have a sudden shift in tense, you have to be careful. The principal of the school took past tense us to his chamber to show us the picture of the student who steals the school bell. So this also happened in the past. So when you have two actions in the past, the action that happened earlier should usually be reported in the past tense, the past perfect tense. So you say who had stolen the school bell, because this happened even before the principal's action of taking you there, right? So when you have a verb that is in a different tense from the rest of the sentence, it basically calls for more attention. You have to make sure you haven't missed the sequence of tenses, all right? So your answer should be option D here. I believe that's clear. However, there are such special cases in which you do not, there is a definite shift in verbs. It happens especially when you have things like universal truth. So you say, my teacher said that the earth revolves around the sun. It is a universal truth. You do not say the earth revolved around the sun, because even now it's revolving. So when your teacher made a statement, even when you are making the statement to someone else, it's still a continuous action. Therefore, it should be reported in the simple present because it's a universal truth. There are exceptions, but barring exceptions, usually when you have a sudden change in the tense, the sentence, the meaning of the sentence tells you that it's in the past tense. However, you have one or more verbs in the present tense, or any other tense for that matter. You have to be careful about possible errors. Let's look at the next question here. Despite of sustained and renewed efforts by the country since its independence from colonial rule, poverty is still rampant in India. So despite of is an erroneous usage. You can say in spite of, where in spite and of are three separate words, or you can simply use despite. Despite sustained and renewed efforts by the country since its independence from colonial rule, poverty is still rampant in India. Despite of is erroneous usage. You either say despite or in spite of. So there's no despite of, right? Clearly it is option one. So there are certain connectors like these which tend to have multiple words in them, and you have to be careful about how to use them. These are called multi-word prepositions. So when you look at things like as much as, or notwithstanding, which is one word, or in as much as, so on, or by dint of, due to, etc., you have to be careful of their structure. So there's no despite of, right? It should be despite directly. Therefore, there is an error. So some errors pretty easy. So if you ask me, this question is an easy question type if you've used despite before. But the only source of confusion here is your ability to distinguish between in spite of and despite. Let's go to the next question. Are bananas in the shop sold by kilo or by the dozen? So are, bananas is the plural, so are tells you that there is a plural word, right next to it is fine. In this shop sold by kilo or by the dozen. So you're asking a question, and there are two things here on either side of or. You have to make sure they're parallel in one way. Besides, when you use by to indicate the unit of measurement, it always takes a the, by the kilo or by the dozen. This is a slightly old-fashioned usage, but it is still considered very formal. So you should use by the kilo. You can say by the dozen, you can say by the gram, you can say by any unit for that matter, by the any unit for that matter. By can also be used with duration, with times of the day, or by the night. You can say things like owls hunt by the night, etc. By has several meanings. Prepositions are pretty versatile. So a good thing for you to do would be to prepare a list of common prepositions and look at them at dictionary entries. The dictionary gives you the entire list of uses. So if you take by, for example, you talk about you swear by someone, then you can say you live by a place, like you can say things like he lives by the seashore, so on. So you have so many uses of by, into, etc. Some of them slightly unconventional, slightly old-fashioned, traditional, that they've fallen out of use, but they can still appear on the tests. That's why we need by the kilo, right? Let's look at the next one. He's a smart boy, but he's not clever to solve this problem enough. If you look at the instructions, it says the sentence has a phrase or a part highlighted. Choose the most appropriate replacement for the phrase or part from the options given. So the part that's highlighted is this: not clever to solve this problem enough. So this enough is a very peculiar adverb in terms of the position that it takes. So you can say something is not enough when it is used as when it is used probably in that sense. But when in that fashion. When you talk about enough being an adverb, it always comes immediately after the adjective, not before. For example, look at this. He is very clever. But you do not say he is enough clever. You say he is clever enough. In terms of the position, enough is a pretty peculiar adverb. So you cannot say he's enough clever. You should say he's clever enough, especially as an adverb. Or he's not clever enough. So he's a smart boy, but he's not clever enough, should be the right way of paraphrasing this. Let's see. Option 1 says clever not enough. That's incorrect. Not clever enough seems to be fine. Not clever enough, this problem to solve is wrong. To solve this problem is okay. Not enough clever. Enough comes before the adjective, clever. So this is one particular adverb which comes after clever. This is well made. Should be option 2.
Guys, I think I'm very audible. We are going to stop today's class. We're done with 5 questions, and I guess you enjoyed the class. We are sorry that we have been met with some difficulties while we were trying to join the class. For next time, we will start on time, and we will start from question number 6. And if we will give you also the time to ask a question from the next class, okay? So allow us to stop from here from this question number 5. Then from next time, we will start from question number 6. I guess no one has doubt, right? Okay. So see you next day.